In our last conversation, we were talking about the silver linings of growing older, and Jean actually said the silver lining of growing older was cheap movie tickets, which I thought was really funny. But Jean, any other silver linings come to mind of what you enjoy about growing older?
I don't know, maybe that takes a pretty high position on my list. and the fare in the local muni vehicles too. We still only pay 75 cents. And I don't know what the general populace pays, but
$2.
I know it's $1. Oh, is it?
$2.
Yeah. See, I don't pay attention to that. So, but it was the movie tickets, of course, that was first on my list. And I thought, now all you swabs that are paying $10, I'm getting in for $5.50 or whatever it was. The one thing, people excuse you a little more for some of the things maybe you say or do that before you would, feel like you couldn't get away with it or something. I don't know if I'm putting that correctly, but
If I were to think of one thing, I think it would be freedom. Freedom from meeting a timeline, like punching a clock. Or, as Jean said, freedom from having to explain so many things. It's just age, just according to age. And the other is you don't have to compete anymore. No more competition.
I know you've said that before, but I disagree with that.
You feel that you have to compete now?
I still think there's competing that goes on.
Oh, I'm free.
Maybe I'm not free of it, but
Yeah.
I've seen it go on here.
Well, it's
Yes.
here.
Haven't you?
Yes.
But if you want to compete, I guess maybe it's individual. For me, I don't feel like I need to compete anymore.
I'm not talking
So-
about playing tennis here.
No, I'm not talking about tennis. You know what comes to my mind? I think it was Fritz Perls. He says, I was not put into this world to meet your expectations. You were not put into my world to meet expectations. You are you and I am I. And if by chance we come together, it's beautiful. And if not, it can't be helped.
Yeah,
So
that
which
is-
means that if I meet your expectations, that's fine. And if I don't, then I'll have to find someone else who meets mine, and you'll have to someone else to meet yours.
Well, maybe.
So that's the freedom.
Well, Bert, is that really a matter of personal thing?
It's a personal.
I mean, do you think all people of an age stop competing?
No.
Because I don't.
Absolutely.
I suppose you could say financial freedom as
Financial
not
freedom.
a little thing, and but
I'm not having responsibilities. I mean, I don't have to do anything except eat 3 meals a day and read a book if I feel like it. No alarm clock making you get up at early in the morning, and no horrible commute on the bus to downtown, and I just like the freedom that I could sort of do whatever I want to do. I mean, I have to go to doctor's appointments, that kind of thing, but I don't have to really do anything else. I don't have to clean, I don't have to cook, I don't have to shop, I don't have to do all the normal things that I did a year ago. Because I've lived here less than a year.
I find I do this all the time. If there's
Like what? Give me an example.
you feel like you've got to do something. You've got to be productive today. You've got to.
No, I don't feel that way at all.
No, I feel it every day. I feel it thinks what I haven't done. I should do this. And I was just feeling guilty down there now because I was getting sleepy in front, and I thought I should be doing something. But I'm a little different, maybe, being a painter. You work on your own pace. And you don't have to go to the office. You went across the yard into the studio. You don't have to commute. You don't have to. You can sort of take a break when you feel like it.
I find something very interesting. A young friend of mine is with me, and I see someone else who has a tattoo on their arm, and I'll say, "May I see your tattoo?" And she'll say to me, "Only an 81-year-old could get away with that, Jane." or I'll ask someone something, and she'll say, only someone your age could get away with asking someone that. And I think that there is freedom in that way.
Yes, yes.
You could be more daffy when you get older.
Is that being daffy?
More daffy?
Daffy.
Daffy,
More
yeah.
I've
off
always
the
been.
things.
We are
You know,
excused more
And
for
that-
some of the things we
I know.
say and do because of that.
And that gets back to what you were saying, Gene, at the beginning,
Yeah.
about people maybe are forgive you,
Mhm.
give you benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't take somebody who was maybe 36 and did the same thing. They'd say, well, what's the matter with you? You know, don't you have a watch? Don't you have a clock?
I could give you an example, a young man that I know is having an operation, and I could tell he just said he was going for it, he was worried about it. And afterwards, I went over to him and I said, what's going on? You okay? You know, I didn't know what it was, and he told me a very personal thing about himself, and I had the feeling that he was comfortable doing that because of who I was. Because of who I was in terms of my age. And that maybe it was a motherly thing, I don't know. But I felt that he wouldn't have told the younger woman what was going on. The quote is, growing old ain't no place for sissies.
Okay, so it is the ink. That was the
And
the
no
key word.
place
Yeah.
for
So is
sissies.
she right?
Yeah, I think she
It
is.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, we have to be prodded and pushed around, have our knees cut open, and then expect to stand on them the next day and walk around. If we fall down, our hips break. You know, little kids fall down all the time. Their hips aren't breaking every time they go down. And our lives are changing, and and we're facing tough stuff. And yeah, we've lived a long time, and we have toughened up a bit, but it's hard stuff. I mean, John just said it. He can't swim anymore. That's what he loved to do.
Yeah, that's when something that's
I mean, I can't balance that against getting 75-cent fare on the Muni.
You can, what was
I
the
can't
beginning of
balance not swimming against
yes.
a 75-cent fare
Well,
on the Muni.
I guess if you depended on going to using the Muni to do things of importance to you, it would be just as grievous a lack if you had to give it up.
We live much better than most people
Oh,
our
yeah.
age. Most people our age do
Yeah,
not
we
have
are living
what
in the
we have.
lap of
we
luxury.
really
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
wealthy.
Yeah.
Whether
Obviously.
you admit it or not, we are.
But some of us are and some of us aren't.
Well,
Well, we're all here, and we know what it takes to
But
live
I think I have
here.
about 10 years.
Well,
And then I'm either at Laguna Honda or at the Jewish Home.
okay, Jewish home's expensive, so go to Laguna
Well,
Honda.
I volunteered there for 9 years. I thought maybe they'd give me a break.
You get a discount.
You know,
See, let's
it's
do it.
one of the problems that we don't prepare for getting old.
I think that's true.
I think we have to prepare starting before we get old, because it kind of slips up on us. I tell people I went to sleep 60 years old and I woke up 80. So it,
And I can tell you when I put on it 10 years of my life was when I got shingles.
yeah.
I was
yeah.
doing a show
I hear
and
that,
I wasn't sleeping well, and the next thing I knew I had shingles. And when it was all over, I realized I put 10 years on my life.
Yeah, that is pretty horrific.
So
yeah.
those are the things I think that you're never prepared for. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
not swimming.
But I told myself when I was 60 years old, I said, when I get 80, I'm going to stop dyeing my hair. I'm going to stop going to all these physical participations that I've done. And I was kind of prepared for it, and I thought I was prepared, but when it got here, I wasn't.
I know something I'm happy about. I don't worry about my weight anymore.
Yeah, that's
And I had dinner the other night with someone who said you know, I put 12 pounds on since I moved here. And I said, baby, if you took 12 off, we'd all be worried to death. Who cares that you put 12 on?
But the
I mean-
silver linings thing, I would put, if I would put percentages on it, I would say, to be generous, 85% bad, 15% good.
What's the 15% good then? What is it?
Oh, just the little things we've said, you know, getting into, you know, not having
Getting into the
responsibilities,
movies,
getting
no-
into the movies, the bus, the senior rates, just not having the energy you used to have, being treated as an older person by younger people, having your children think, I mean, I'm not 80 yet, but when I am, I'm gonna hope my kids will treat me differently when I'm 80 than now. They treat me like they've always treated me. Not very
And
well.
that doesn't
You
make
think
you feel
that being
good.
80 is going
You-
to change that?
Well, I decided when I'm 80, I'm gonna stop coloring my hair. So I'll look older.